Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Today we have bread rolls on the menu. Now I love carbs, I eat carbs every day, and if you do as well, but still want to lose weight at the same time, then this is a great recipe because they are low in fat, they're super filling, and they're super tasty as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. So like in any of my baking recipes, the first thing I always say to do is line your baking tray with some baking paper and use the 1 calorie spray to spray the bottom of it so none of your goodies stick. Next, you want to turn on your weighing scales and weigh out about 500 grams of flour. Next, you want to put in 2 teaspoons of salt. This recipe calls for 15 grams of yeast, which is I have 2 7-gram pouches here from Lidl. Now the good thing about this bread is that it's oil-free, so it's actually really low in fat and in calories. But one thing that you are going to need a lot of is yeast. So 2 packets of them in here. So just to add a little savory twist to these bread rolls, we're going to add some mixed herbs, as many as you like. And I just have loads of different types of seeds here: sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and I'm just going to add a handful of them in too. So after you've mixed everything in, what you want to do is make a well in the center and pour in 300 milliliters of warm water. Now I just put some water in a kettle and didn't let it get to the boil. So 300 milliliters of that. And normally bread recipes use sugar, but today I am going to use honey. So 2 teaspoons of honey to make this bread. So now you just want to incorporate all of this water and flour until you create a dough. So it's going to become a stiff dough and you're going to see all of this excess flour, but just try and keep mixing it in, and soon we're going to get our hands stuck in. So I'm just going to flour the bench, be generous, and tip out all of this dough and all of the flour that is left in there as well. So next thing you want to do is you want to knead your bread. Now kneading your bread activates the gluten and lets your bread rise as well. So what you want to do is fold it over in half and use this part of your palm, strongest part of your hand, to push it back where it came from. Fold it over and push it back. And do this for about 10 minutes until you get a really soft dough. So I have been kneading this for about 9 minutes now. I don't need any more flour. It's feeling really nice, and you know that you've kneaded it enough once you press and it springs back a little bit. So that's a good sign. So next what we need to do is we need to cut it into 8 pieces. Now I'm just going to see, you can be meticulous about how you cut them. You can just eyeball it roughly, or you can actually measure it out. So this dough is 808 grams. So if I want to put it into 8, it's 101 grams each. So just ripping a bit off, just 102, so I'm just gonna roughly make them this size now and shape them into balls. So like I said, I have 8 pieces. Now I just rolled them out gently into balls, and what we're gonna do next is let them prove or rise. And that's going to take about 45 minutes. So I'm just going to cover this with cling film and put it in a warmish place. Now, one trick that I tend to use is just to put the radiator on for about half an hour, and it does the same trick. See you in 45 minutes. So these have definitely doubled in size. I'm probably gonna bake this on 2 trays because they're gonna rise even more in the oven, and I might reshape them a little bit just so they are round. So I'm preheating my oven and we're gonna cook these at 200 degrees. Now I'm gonna bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown. So you can dust them with a little bit of flour or give them a milk wash or even an egg wash, but I'm just gonna leave them as it is. So I just pulled the first batch out of the oven. Now they have cooled slightly. I just want to cut one open to see what it looks like, and I want you guys to see it as well. Nice and fluffy, fully cooked. Looks good to me. So personally, I eat everything under the sun. I love carbs. This is not a keto-friendly recipe, but nevertheless, they are great for weight loss and staying healthy if you do like carbs like me. And they can be eaten at any time of day, whether it's for breakfast with some eggs, or at lunchtime you can make like a mini sandwich, or in the evening to dunk into some homemade soup. So definitely recommend them. They taste great. They're only 2 grams of fat each. Now I did add in some extra seeds, so they might end up being just under 3, but it's not going to change the calories drastically. So you should definitely try them out. So I know this is a recipe video, but just whilst we're on the topic of carbs, let me know in the comments below whether you think carbs have been demonized or not, because I feel as though recently the low carb and keto diets have been so popular that it's almost scaring people into eating carbs, but carbs are beautiful. I mean, the only way that you can get fat or gain weight from eating carbs is by eating too much of it. The same with everything else. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a few friends who have been on keto diets for a couple of years, or a few friends who have lost a lot of weight from it as well. I just personally would never do it. I mean, I've done different diets before, like intermittent fasting, and I was vegetarian for a little bit as well. But this one, like keto diets, I genuinely fear for 2 reasons. Number 1, my favorite foods are pizza and pasta. And secondly, I have read so many articles on the long-term effects on your internal organs from not having carbs. Carbs are actually such a great source of nutrients. They give you energy for a workout, and then because your body isn't getting carbs, it needs to get that energy from elsewhere, and it goes to places like your liver or your kidney or whatever organ it is. Now, there are endless amounts of diets out there, but the one thing they all have in common is to control your portion sizes and not overeat on anything. And I think during the last few months of this pandemic, people have become expert bakers. And I definitely hopped aboard that train of baking twice a week. But the thing is, I still lost weight because I controlled how much I ate. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you like something, don't cut it out no matter what people tell you, because the only way that you're going to feel satisfied through a weight loss journey or even through life is by giving what your body craves. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. If you're planning on recreating those bread rolls, then make sure to tag my Instagram account, TheRussianTwist. And if you're not already following it, go check out the extra goodies that I post on there as well. Like, comment, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Have a great day.